I'd like to introduce Cheraé Clark, a 2012 fellow in fiction. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Alright, I'm going to read you guys from an excerpt of a short story called Chords. And basically at this point, the character has just come out to his mom as transgender, and he's also about to get a surprise of his own. On Allison shook her head. I told him not to do it, she said. I told him you'd need him with that woman in her family. I frowned because that woman was my mother, but my ears caught up to my brain. Wait, you told him not to do what? I asked. Aunt Allison rolled her eyes. Not to kill himself, the selfish bastard. She smirked sadly, staring into her beer bottle. My stomach seemed to plug up my throat, and I lurched into the fridge. Aunt Allison's blonde eyebrows shot up. Even her posture seemed to backtrack as she leaned on the counter, her hand over her mouth. It was Aunt Linda's arms around me, but I could only stare at Aunt Allison. How did you know? My mom said it was a heart attack. Everyone said it was a heart attack. And he wasn't good for a long time. I tried to convince him, even I wasn't enough to keep him here. I shook Aunt Linda off. He didn't write you guys a letter? He left me one. I'm sure he left you one. And your mom? Well, if he did, Mom's not sharing. But Mama would hide a letter for 5 years. I knew it. A crescendo of blood pumping in my ears drowned out everything else. I have to go. I stumbled past Mallin's and back to my car. At my mom's house, I walked past everyone, making a beeline for my mother's room. He had to have left me something. I had to have proof. He wouldn't have done this to me on purpose. I went straight to her desk cupboard. When my dad was around, the key stayed in the lock. Now it was hidden, tucked into the bottom of the pen cup. I checked photo albums and tax stubs, bank statements and loan papers, but it was between our birth certificates and Dad's life insurance that I found it. It was a thick folded square, soft on the fold creases, which were extra clean, surrounded by smudges. He loved writing us letters. He gave me and Ange notes with our birthdays and Christmas presents. His writing was tiny and meticulous, but some of the words had been distorted by tears. Take care of Ari, he wrote. She's a kind soul, he said, just different. Blurry-eyed, I found my mother and her mother in the kitchen, brown hands covered in flour. My mother's face was still blank in her anger from when I called myself a man for the first time. What's wrong, baby? Grandma asked. I ignored her. My hand trembled, clenched around my father's last words. Mama, what's this? Mama stopped kneading. Where did you get that? She asked, eyes narrowed at the square in my hands. It doesn't matter, just tell me what the hell it is, I said. Don't talk like that in front of your grandma, Mama said. She held her hand out for it and I squeezed it tight in my fist. Does she know? I waved the letter at my grandmother. Did you know she lied about Daddy? Grandma's response was a slow look that passed between me and my mother. Too slow for her to know the truth. Mama strangled the dough on the counter. Ariana, keep your voice down. Call me Aaron, I said. Does anyone know about this but you? It wasn't addressed to you. Honey, what don't we know? My grandmother asked my mom. Nothing, Mom, I'll tell you later. Now, Angela poked her head into the kitchen. What's up, y'all? She glanced around the room. What's going on? Did you know Daddy killed himself? And his face dropped, like I'd hit her. This is the letter he wrote. She grabbed a crunched up piece of paper and read it, holding it like a cursed treasure. Mama? Mama's face was cool. Give it here, Angela. I intercepted it, twirled it between my fingers. Everyone always said Mama and Ange had graceful bodies, dancers, but my dad and I had graceful fingers, musicians. Ariana Marie. I don't know how long Mama and I stood there, the paper between us. I couldn't say a thing. There was an invisible fist around my throat. It took about 10 beats to tear the letter to pieces that I would later come collect while my mother cried in her room, pieces that I would keep in my violin case and rifle through before every performance. At that moment, though, my heart pounded in time to the shred of the paper, the only sound in the room. There, I said. We watched until the last piece hit the ground. My mother's slap kept me away for the next 5 years. Now I was back.
Yeah.